Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Tracking Mark. We'll start with Super Practical, which is one of my very favorite assignments. I think it's awesome how far you can take this one and really make it intense. Let's have a look at Dan's homework first, and I'll critique it after that. Nice, well done, Dan. So first thing, Dan did tell me he had some issues with motion blur not working how he wanted, and some rasterizing issues when rendering. So let's not be too harsh about the project because he had some technical issues, and let's just see what worked well on this one. First off, I think that impact is really nice. I think the time remapping on it worked really well. I really like that sphere going on around the hero here. I just think that could be built up with a cool effect, like I don't know if you want like hexagon coming up together to form it or something, like just making it look a bit more complex than just turning the opacity on it. That bin worked really well. I think Mark talks about it a bit in the later critique. It's I would just add the halftone on that as well. For now, it looks a little bit like popping off of the screen a bit too much. Yeah, I really like your move. I think the movement you have here is very natural. I'll just play it back for 1 second. I think that's awesome. It's like it does feel like it takes a lot of effort to like lift it up, which makes it feel more real than if it was just flying off screen directly. You had a really great idea using a shadow under it. The only problem is your shadow is like following up a bit too much and then being up in the air. And I think that's the shadow, is it? Yes. So I would really make sure that that follows on the floor and get a bit diffused and scale up as you lift the bin up. Otherwise, that's pretty good. You do have some motion blur going on that. That's good. I think this worked really great. The explosion here is a little too colorful for me. I think if you play with your layer modes a little bit, maybe on screen or something like that, you would get a bit of a more realistic color coming off of that. And it's also the question. I think I commented on that on your on the homework. Okay, it's would a garbage bin like this make an explosion of that sort? But at the same time, we're like in the Hollywood superhero style thing, so why not? Then the other thing I thought was pretty cool is your street light. I love that wiggle, and there, boom, you really like cut out every single glass panels, which I think is great. I think that really looks good. You could argue to keep the top, since that should be the back of the how do you call that? The top part of the street light would still be black under there. But otherwise, I think that was great. Just when you use shatter, make sure you tweak the force, the forces and gravity, so you have a realistic explosion. Because for now, they just like hang out in the air for a little bit. But I think if they blasted away a bit faster, that would work nicer. Something you can take away from a previous exercise is anytime you have a spark, it would be awesome if you were to do a small lighting interaction on the pole, at least, and maybe on the background. No, the background is quite far away, but that would look really cool. Every time you have a small spark, you see some reaction on the pole. You have a strange lighting change on the pole, and that's just how you set it up in your pre-comp. I think there's a double layer at some point, which is the issue. Okay, let's continue there. This twisting effect, I'm not sure what it is. I think that can work. I would just try to add some more randomness to it. For now, it really looks like it's just rotating around. If you add a fractal noise and a displacement effect, that could work really nice. I like how you hang it. She's hanging in the air a little bit here. That's really cool. And that shockwave is really nice. I think that's looking good, and the camera shake, you could add a little bit more camera shake as the wave hits the camera, but that's looking pretty good. And the logo reveal. For the logo, I'd love to see something more, how do you call that? Just having more to it than just an opacity fade. That's just a little easy when you could have like a cool, I don't know, you can make it shine and like have a cool reveal, zoom, just like how you have the dashes here scanning up. You could do the same there and adding some motion blur to it, just making it look a bit more dynamic. I like that you have a little bit of the same power around the logo than around her. And yeah, one thing I noticed, same thing on her, she doesn't have any of the halftones on her, and I don't think you need them to have all the way, but maybe just having it on the bottom half of her body just so she blends a bit better with the ground could help. But yeah, all in all, like that's a really great submission. I think that was really awesome, and well done. Now let's have a look at Justin's homework. Let's see there. Okay, and let's play it. Nice. So Justin, one thing we can already see compared to Dan's homework is how he darkened her quite a bit, and she fits in the environment a bit better. She might be almost a little too dark. Like I'd like to see more of her face, but that connection works well, even though there is no halftones either. Okay, so let's start with her appearing here. I like the idea of her forming like that in the air. That's pretty cool. Oh, I think that your floor is already starting here on the ground cracks. Is already starting on this frame, but then we're back here. I'm not sure what is happening here. It looks like you have a little bit of issues with how your layers are set up. We will start here. My problem with that is the ground is cracking when she was barely up in the air before, and unless you have like a shockwave coming out of her, it just feels like the ground cracks under her with no reason. So either she should be falling from the sky and have like a massive Superman landing and the ground cracks under that, or if she has like a power burst, that could make the ground crack. But for now, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The timing works well. Now her power, yeah. See, this works well, having the halftone on the bin. I think that's great. I like that it's like it glows like this, and you have a lot of motion blur going on. Might be even a echo effect going there. I think that's great. And you wouldn't see a shadow from this since it's glowing so much, so that kind of makes sense. I think there's just a small mistake here, where it's going behind her instead of in front. And oh yeah, I remember that. the explosion is really quite delayed. If you listen to the sound, it's really coming like a few frames after it. So I would just get the explosion, I mean the dust, burst a bit earlier on. The dust is a little bright. That's really about like if you want to keep it looking magical or not. I think that's a bit much. I would use a tint to match the tint of the background building, just so it looks like it's smashed into a building and just the dust is from that instead. There you have the same effect going on to the street light glowing everywhere, and I really love this. Look at that. It's like swinging back, and there's some really fun oh, how do you call that? No, it's not overshoot, it's damn, I don't have the word anymore. But I think that works great. I'm not sure metal behave that way, but it does look fun. So I'll forgive whatever doesn't look realistic on this one, because I like it. That's working well. And here your massive explosion. I would just center it a bit more on her, just because it looks like it's popping not exactly from her. And then you have so much camera shake that it's showing some of the black around your comp. So just make sure you take care of this. An easy solution would be to just use a mirror. What would it be? A tiling effect, like CC Reptile, I think would do that, where you can just mirror the back comp, and you wouldn't see it with a blur like that. That it's actually tiling. But otherwise, I think the explosion looks really good. Like it's not too saturated or anything. It's just a question: do you want this to be purple, since that's the color of her power had before, or even a bright blue like this? Because for now it looks like pretty much a gas explosion. So just make sure you're okay with that. I like that you kept some blur going here. I would almost blur the edges too. For now the blur is focused in the center, and boom, same thing here. I'm not sure if you're trying to have like a heat wave effect going on, but that's not totally working for me. So if you want to have a blur, I would have a blur over the whole frame and almost have the camera refocus after the explosion. Nice. And here again, I would try to match a bit better here. Maybe add a small shadow underneath. There's a little bit of a shadow there, but you could make that a tad bigger just to anchor her feet on a bit. And the halftone as well. Getting some halftone on her would be a really nice way to get her in that environment. And I think I told you that on the critique is I like this reveal. I just think you should wait so it starts a little early. Oh, and here we have another issue with just a layer being one frame too long. And I would do the reveal only on that shot, not start it here, but just like have it take up there and maybe offset a little bit the subtitles just by a couple frames, so it doesn't look all going on at the same time. But yeah, really nice work. I think it's working well, and I'm looking forward to see everybody else assignment that I haven't received yet. Okay, see you guys soon.